I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems.
Yo, what is going on, people? It's the Xbot 448. And guys, I gotta say, I feel like an idiot right now, man. I have been talking for about almost 15 minutes thinking that we were live and wondering why nobody was talking in the chat or what was going on, and come to find out because I'm trying to get used to the kind of like newer YouTube studio and streaming and stuff. Not only do I hit start streaming on OBS, but I did not realize I also had to hit go live in the YouTube studio. I am going to chalk it up to a Monday. Yo, yes, guys, it is Monday. I know it is one of the favorite days for so many people out there, especially people, you know, going back to school, going back to work. People talk about it all the time. I hope you guys are having a really good Monday. And hopefully by me going live and sharing some of this information, I can make your Monday just that much better, that much smoother, and hopefully it just goes by quickly. But we do have a couple very interesting topics to talk about. And before we get into that, I got to give a huge shout out to my brother Skint Eastwood. He is a longtime supporter of this channel and of course the next podcast, which is on this channel, for bringing to my attention some news that came out 2 months ago that for some rhyme or reason I don't see anybody in the community talking about, and something that I think is absolutely huge. Now, we will be getting into that. We're also going to be getting into, it was about 6 a.m. When a tweet went out by the head of marketing at Xbox, Aaron Greenberg, about certain specifications when it comes to the Series X, actually marketing features, and they put bullet points out there. We're going to go into that. Now, before we get into this stuff, I need to ask you guys to do me a solid here, because YouTube does not like to do their job. Slap the thumbs up button. Share this out on social media. Let people know that we are going live. I am trying to make your Monday as great as possible, you know. So let people know we are going in. Shout out to Damn Good 75. He says, "What up, Xbot 448? One Sony fanboy is mad because Microsoft just crushed PS5 with Xbox specs." Now, dude, let's get into it. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm not in this for who's the number one console. All right, when I got into YouTube, I saw a lot of misinformation and a lot of things going on. People talking a lot of shit about the Xbox One. And for some rhyme or reason, like when I first got into this, nobody was talking about the games. It was all about power and other things. So I got into this to try to set the record straight, put a little more common sense in there, let people realize that, you know, the Xbox One is a quality platform as well as the PS4. Now, for some rhyme or reason, console wars have run absolutely rampant. I'm not really a part of that, all right? I'm not going to pander to a demographic and say, like, everything is all great on one system and everything is absolutely bullshit on the other. I'm going to say it exactly how I see it, all right? That's what you're going to get from this channel, and I hope you enjoy it. Shout out to Lady Foxfire joining us. I hope you're having a great Monday. Spider 13, yo, what is going on? I hope you are having an awesome Monday. So, first, let's get into Aaron Greenberg, because I find it incredible that he tweeted out at 6 a.m. because if he's on the West Coast, that's 6 a.m. Eastern. If he's on the West Coast, that means he tweeted this out at 3 a.m. Dude, what are you doing? Yeah. But it was really cool, and I'm gonna show exactly the graphic he tweeted out, and I'm gonna read some things from the article. Now, the article is based in Xbox.com. All right. Oh, damn good. You're still on Facebook now. Technically, I'm still on Facebook, but I never visit it anymore. I'm on Twitter, brother. Twitter is where it's at. The community is freaking awesome over there. I definitely suggest hanging out with us more on Twitter. You can see my Twitter tag right over there. I think you might be following me. I'm not sure, but let's get into this graphic. Wow, guys. Wow. All right, that is problem number 2. I think we're done. Thank you, Lady Foxfire. I shouted you out as well. Guys, it's a work in progress. I am learning the new YouTube studio. And when it comes down to it, there's going to be a couple bumps in the road. Yo, shout out to everybody. What is going on, people? We are definitely live. I am sorry about the no sound. We did get into a couple things. I've been speaking for about 20 minutes now. I made 2 mistakes with the new YouTube studio that I will not make again. I promise you. Sorry for the delay, guys. I hope you guys are having a great Monday. I know people absolutely love Mondays. It's your favorite day of the week, you know, going back to school, going back to work. And hopefully I can make your Monday just that much better, that much smoother. We have a couple really cool things to talk about. I want to give a huge shout out to my brother Skint Eastwood, who brought to my attention some news that actually came out 2 months ago that for some rhyme or reason nobody has really covered within this community. Yeah, I know, lady. Okay. Yeah. And when I switch over, I'm going to have to make sure I do that again. All right. So when it comes down to it, you guys saw the graphic. Let me go into the article for the bullet points when it comes to when it comes to the Xbox Series X and the marketing that they just came out with, the article that they came out with, they go into detail and they give you their description of these bullet points. So let's start with VRS, which is known as variable rate shading, and what Xbox says about this. And there's a couple important words. Basically, the two words at the very beginning are very important, in my opinion. Now, I switched over to the article. I can't see what's going on in the chat right now, but we're going to read this. I'm going to share my thoughts, and I'm going to go back and see what you guys are saying and what you are thinking. Now, variable rate shading. Xbox says, our patented form of VRS empowers developers to more efficiently utilize the full power of the Xbox Series X. Rather than spending GPU cycles uniformly to every single pixel on the screen, they can prioritize individual effects on specific game characters or important environmental objects. This technique results in more stable frame rates and higher resolution with no impact on the final image quality. Now, the very first two words are really important here. Our patented form of VRS. So in other words, Microsoft has invented their own way to implement variable rate shading. Now, this is really important because what it does is when you're in a game, it's going to focus on the objects and the things that are closer to you as opposed to the things that are further away. Now, in the way games are being developed now, that tree that's off in the distance is going to be detailed. You just can't see it because of distance, but the system details that tree the way it would a tree right next to you. All right. Now, what variable rate shading does is it takes that tree and it says, you know what? We don't have to spend so much time thinking about that tree. It's gonna be a lowered kind of like texture shader until you get closer to it, and then we'll switch it over. So that right there gives developers more room to even add more things to the scene and focus on what's really important in the game. Now, again, I said before, uniform features that both systems have, that the PS5 have and the Series X have, we need uniform features between these platforms. They can't be absolutely different because of third-party developers. We want third-party developers to utilize any of the different features for this next generation. So when it comes down to it, you should be rooting for some of these features to be uniform, to be on the PS5 as well as the Xbox Series of consoles, because you want third party to implement and to utilize these features. So with variable rate shading, I believe that Sony with the PS5 is going to have it as well. They have something like it in the toolkit, the development toolkit for PlayStation VR. They have something like it, something very similar that focuses on what you're absolutely looking at when it comes to PlayStation VR. So I can see them taking that jump and really get into variable rate shading as a PlayStation 5 feature as well, which is a good thing because we want developers to utilize this function. The ability to make their games grander is a good thing all the way around, and we want third-party support when it comes to these features. Now, the next thing is hardware-accelerated DirectX ray tracing. Now, what Xbox says here, you can expect more dynamic and realistic environments powered by hardware-accelerated DirectX ray tracing, a first for console gaming. This means true-to-life lighting, accurate reflections, and realistic acoustics in real time as you explore the game world. Now, one of the things that I want to point out here, something that Sony was talking about with the PS5, they were talking about 3D audio, saying that they're going to have hardware in their system that will give people 3D audio. And if you hear what they're saying here in this article, they are talking about true-to-life lighting, accurate reflections, and realistic acoustics. Now, acoustics, we all know, that's audio. That's not visual. That is audio. So what is being said here is they're not really touting it as a main feature, but they're talking about 3D audio as well. So that is a feature, again, that I think will be in some way uniform between the two consoles. Both of them will have this newer kind of like newer based audio, and I can't wait to hear what this sounds like, because I also know that Microsoft has implemented a way that you can use regular headphones as kind of like surround sound headphones. So you put that together with a new kind of like form of realistic acoustic or 3D audio, and I can't wait to hear what this is actually going to sound like. Sounds really cool in my opinion. Again, I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about that? Does this sound like something that you will be into? Do you understand what I'm saying here about some features you definitely want to be uniform? All right? You want both systems to have them because you want third-party support for like the 3D audio, the ray tracing, stuff like that. You want developers that make multi-plat games to look at these features and be like, you know what, we're going to put that realistic acoustic, we're going to put that 3D audio in there and make the best game possible. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to go to what my brother Skint Eastwood talked about. Yo, Flashman, bigger and better worlds. Brother, you're not going to see bigger and better worlds, really, from either system for the first year of these systems coming out. You're going to get graphics. You're going to get incredible graphics. But when it comes to the bigger, better world, stuff like that, you're not going to see, I don't think you're going to see the true scope of what can happen, especially in the first year, because you're going to have Sony making ports because they're still going to support PS4 games. All right, they're going to make PS5, ports of those games, but they're going to have to inherently still be as big as the PS4 game. They can't structurally change the game just because it's on the PS5. That I have a feeling that would piss a lot of people off. And of course, with Xbox, you have forward compatibility for the first year. All right, so at the end of the day, you're not going to see the true scope of the bigger, better worlds until, a little over a year into these systems being out. It's just the facts, people. Yo, what is going on, Long Shot? What is up, Antonio? Lakers, Rams, what is going on? And of course, Flashman, I already, addressed one of your chats. It's good to see you in the chat as well. But let's get into something. A lot of people love to go to the interview done by Matt Booty. When Matt Booty did his interview and he told people that, forwards compatibility was going to happen within the first year of the Series X. And a lot of people ran with that, saying how that was a bad idea. I was one of the few people to try to let people know, when it comes down to it, the launch of new systems, you never really see the true kind of like implementation of the better CPU and stuff like that. It usually comes around, a year or so after that. But Matt Booty's article had something else in it. It is the title of this video, and it is something I am really, really excited for. Matt Booty came out talking about Game Pass, and I'm going to pull this up from my Twitter messages real quick as well. So definitely bear with me here as I'm getting this situated here, and I'm bringing this up. Now, Matt Booty was talking about Xbox Series X, Game Pass, and there's something about Game Pass that I don't think people are realizing, and it is really good to see Matt Booty talk about it here. And I'm going to quote him from the article. He says that's because Game Pass becomes the service. Now, listen through on this, and I will really break down what this means. Game Pass becomes the structure. And now in our green light and concept review process, I don't ask, what's your service plan? What's your monetization plan? Are you going to offer any DLC later? What is your monetization? We don't have to ask any of that anymore. The teams can just go design the game that they want, and we can let Game Pass end up being the service. Guys, this is an absolutely huge thing that I have no idea why nobody is talking about. All right? When it comes down to it, if you watch the next podcast on this channel, we went into games as a service this past Saturday, and people heard how I felt. I feel like every publisher is trying to make that one game that everybody plays 24/7. They keep adding content, timed content as well, which is what I deal with Destiny 2 and the Season Pass. Timed content that, you almost feel obligated to get in and play. I mean, I spent money on the Season Pass. I spent money, of course, on any of the add-ons as well. So when it came to Shadowkeep, I spent $30 on Shadowkeep, and I spent $30 on the Season Pass. I basically bought a brand new game, but it's a brand new game where with the Season Pass, I only have a certain amount of time to get into the new content before it goes away. Now, what Matt Booty is saying here, and of course, this is definitely going for first party more, is that they don't necessarily have to think about where they're going to make extra money, because the subscription service, Game Pass, will be the structure, will be the money structure. It'll be where the developers and the publishers get their money that would normally come from season passes, from add-ons that developers and publishers tell you that you got to pay an extra $20, $30 for. He says that basically the structure moving forward for Xbox will be Game Pass. So in other words, at least with first party, I know a lot of people, when Halo 5 came out, there were people talking about the rec packs and, spending money on rec packs and stuff like that. Moving forward, the structure for Xbox games will be Game Pass. So what that tells me is added content at no extra cost. All right? Basically, the extinction of a season pass, at least when it comes to first party. And that is a really good thing, because if Game Pass really takes off and they really just keep adding content, knowing that the money structure is Game Pass, eventually other development studios are going to take notice. All right? And when it comes down to it, the timed content and stuff like that has a chance to go completely extinct. Do you guys see what I'm saying here? This is something that was absolutely huge in Matt Booty's article from 2 months ago, but nobody in this community really dove in and talked about it. It is an absolutely huge thing. It is something that I am actually looking forward to, and if this really comes to fruition, I will let you know right now. I told people in the beginning, when it came to PS5 and Series X, I still don't know what system I'm getting, right? I approach every generation like that. Where am I going to go? Of course, Xbox, I was leaning towards Xbox because that's where all of my friends are. That's where I play a lot of the games, especially the multiplayer and stuff. But with Microsoft and Xbox bringing it forward, bringing it bringing more than I even expected, where when it comes to it, you can see the end of season passes and stuff like that because of the Game Pass subscription. This is an absolutely huge deal, and it is something that I got to applaud, Xbox, Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, for doing something like this, for taking that initiative and being like, you know what? When it comes down to it, we're not going to ask our developers about their DLC. We're not going to ask if they're going to do a season pass. We're not going to ask how they plan on making money, the 2-3 weeks after the game launches, because Game Pass is going to be that structure where the developers and the publisher makes that money moving forward. Guys, absolutely huge news. Something that I am really, really excited about. And it's just another thing that is leaning me towards the Series X. Now, granted, when it comes down to it, we haven't heard a lot about the PS5. We've heard, bits and pieces here and there. And I know people have been like, where's the unveiling? We need more information. But, with what Xbox is doing, they already showed the system. They're giving their bullet points, what they want people to remember about in terms of features. You hear Matt Booty coming out 2 months ago talking about Game Pass, possibly, getting rid of that. You have to pay for DLC. You have to pay for a season pass, because Game Pass is going to be where that money is made, leaving the developers free to just add content when they want to. Keep people engaged without having them spend more money. That is absolutely incredible. It is something that needs to be talked about more. Shout out again to Skint Eastwood for sharing that information with me, having me go back and really read that article again and realize there was a lot more information in there. But of course, people pulled the console, quote unquote, console war part of the article, the thing that people could bash, the thing that people could really go in and make kind of like negative emphasis on, or at least they thought they could. You know what I'm saying? But when it came down to it, even what was said about forwards compatibility absolutely made sense. But anything people could pull out of that to create an argument on Twitter is what they did. And I think they neglected some of the better information that came from Matt Booty's interview. And yes, I love saying his name, Matt Booty. But this is huge news, guys, and it's something I think you guys really need to keep in mind moving forward. There are people that love Game Pass. There are people that say Game Pass is horrible. But at the end of the day, if Game Pass will do away from, people having to put down more money for DLC, more money for season passes and stuff like that. I know one of the things that got my brother the Don to stop playing Destiny was the fact that every time they came out with an expansion and a season pass, it felt like they fractured their active user base even more, whittled it down even more, because not everybody was buying into that stuff. Dreams will make Game Pass games. I don't see how that will happen, but okay. People have been doing really good with scenes in Dreams, by the way. Not full games, but scenes is what you've been seeing a lot of out there on Twitter. But I was told not to talk about that people are going to get mad. So, basically the last thing I want to talk about is money with these systems, all right? Yeah, I know, Al. You're just kidding, bro. I got you. But money with these systems. Now, another YouTuber in the community pointed out how there's been a lot more kind of like sales for the Xbox One X, bringing it down to like $300, stating that in no time, like, pretty soon, the Xbox One X will be $300 without any sales. It's just going to be the retail price. And I definitely say I have to agree with him on that. Now, the thing that I don't agree with him on, all right, is a thing that a lot of people out there are saying, dude, you're going way too high here, is about the price of the Series X. Now, if Xbox really comes out with two consoles at launch, one being the Series S, otherwise known as Lockhart, and the other one being the Series X. Series S being the more affordable, all right, and then Series X being the monster system, the one with all the power and stuff like that. You look at the Xbox One X, about to be $300, right? So I would put the Series S $100 over that at $400. Now, if rumors are true and that Series S or Lockhart, when it comes to graphical power, is just under 8 teraflops, that would be a huge deal for gamers out there that are looking to get into the console with the solid state drive, the hardly no load times, the improved CPU, and even graphically, it'll be better than the Xbox One X. So you put that at $100 more. I'm looking at Sony here in terms of their PS5 and the supposed cost of making it, and I'm going to slot the PS5 at $500. Now, here's the big thing that people were complaining, or we're having interactions about, is the Series X. Now, this YouTuber says the Series X $500. I don't think that's the case, and it definitely won't be the case, in my opinion, if they come out with the Lockhart. All right. Now, what Xbox is trying to do is they're trying to get gamers of every demographic on the Xbox platform. That is what they are trying to do inherently. This is what, at the core, this is why they would come out with a Lockhart. They would come out with a Series X. They're talking about xCloud, streaming to multiple devices. You're talking about the budget gamer. You're talking about the hardcore. You're talking about the casual. They want as many gamers from every demographic on the Xbox platform. So when it comes down to it, the Series X is slated for the hardcore gamer. That's why I am putting that at $600. Now, I know $600 is a negative term in the gaming community because of the PS3. When the PS3 launched, it was $600, and people did not buy it because of that price point. But guys, that was years ago. All right? Years ago. When it comes to monetary value, it is different now than when the PS3 launched. You guys gotta get your head away from the PS3 launch, because that happened at a point in time where, there was a recession, all sorts of craziness. And $600 was just way too much. If you look at today's standards, when it comes to money, $600 is not a lot. People are paying, the Motorola Razr flip phone is over $1,300. All right? And if you notice what Microsoft was doing, at least with the Microsoft Store, to see how everything would go, they had payment plans. They started payment plans when it came to the Xbox One X that you can switch over to the Series X when it comes out. So you see Microsoft kind of positioning themselves to try to help cushion the blow of the amount of money that the system would be. And exactly, Flashman, it would still be cheaper than a decent PC. That's another thing I think the Xbox division and Microsoft is thinking about. All right, they want every demographic of gamer on the Xbox platform, whether you're casual / mobile, whether you're the more kind of like budget gamer, you can't spend only so much money per year. the hardcore, the PC gamer, they want every gamer on the Xbox platform. But when it comes down to it, I don't think they're gonna cut down the price to the Series X. I don't think they're gonna launch it at $500. And to be honest with you, $600 with trade-ins and stuff like that to get the price down, it's not really a big deal in today's standards. See, Damn Good says $600 is the price that I am expecting. Too much tech for them to lose money. Dude, that's exactly what I'm thinking as well. Now, shout out to the people out there that want the console to be cheap enough that, everybody can kind of get in on. A huge amount of the community can purchase. I understand that. But again, I said I am not going to pander to any specific kind of like gaming community. I am about the entire gaming community. And when it's all said and done, $600 now is not the $600 from the PS3 days. All right, we got to get that through our heads. We can't think about prices of things so far back in time. Monetary value has changed since then. All right, just think about that before you dismiss the $600 and say, no, that's just way too expensive. There are things out there when it comes to the economy and stuff that we really got to look at in terms of kind of like getting our price expectation to the right, where it's supposed to be. Yeah. Yo, Antonio says his eyes are on Lockhart. Dude, if like I said, the last rumor I really got into about the Lockhart, if it comes in at about 7.9 T-flops, that is going to be a huge value for gamers out there. It's not going to be the 12. It's not going to be the 12, but it'll be higher than the X. It'll be a true next generation leap for $400. Can you imagine $400 and then using whatever system you have as a trade-in because of backwards compatibility? Dude, you would be able to get in on Lockhart insanely cheap. And I think that will be the system that really causes the buzz. You'll see games running on the Series X because they will look the best. But I think the Lockhart would cause a serious buzz. Some people paying $200 to get into the next generation. That would be insane. All right, so Fox Mulder, yo, shout out to you, brother. I did give you a shout out on this past Saturday's next podcast for being a brand new subscriber. He says, but XBot, it seems Microsoft considers their premium console at $500. Example, the current S started at $400 and premium X at $500. Yeah, dude, that's what they were doing now. Like, it was a couple years back. I don't see Microsoft having a problem with showing, a premium console with a premium price. We're talking SSDs here. We're talking 12 T-flops. We're talking all the bells and whistles. We're talking them having to make the console look like a chimney to make sure the heat comes out of it and it remains quiet. I don't think $600 is going to be a lot. So Damn Good said, Xbox, wait, you don't know the cost at $400. What if Sony goes $400 for the PS5? Brother, I don't think they're going to do that. The only way I think Sony would take such a loss on the PS5 is if the Series X comes in at $500. If by some rhyme or reason the Series X is unveiled as $500, I would bet money that Sony would drop their PS5 to $400. If the Series X comes in at $600, I can see Sony going $500. I can see Sony really wanting to go $500 as opposed to $400, because I believe when it comes to the, again, rumored cost of development for the PS5. You're looking at over $400 in development for it anyway. So I think Sony wants to go 5. They, if they can, they will. I think Sony, when it comes down to it, they know what Xbox has in terms of power in a console, and what they are focusing on is trying to be cheaper. Now, with that being said, if they drop the Lockhart day and date and it's $100 cheaper than the PS5, that makes things a lot more interesting, in my opinion. But there you go, guys. We had like 3 hard-hitting topics to talk about. We talked about Aaron Greenberg and the Xbox.com article promoting the Series X. We talked about information that came out 2 months ago that for some rhyme or reason, nobody in the community, YouTuber or otherwise, except for my brother Skint Eastwood, really focused on when it came to Game Pass and making, season passes and adding money for DLC extinct when it comes to first-party Xbox games, and hopefully even further than that. And then we talked about price point, guys. And I hope you guys can see the common sense in what I'm saying here, that $600 is not the same $600 from the launch of the PS3. $600 is a viable option for Microsoft when it comes to pricing the Series X. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was a video I could not wait to do. Hopefully you liked the gameplay. If you like the gameplay, you like the topics, definitely hit that thumbs up button for me. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel. You're going to get more gaming content. I am trying to get an Elgato 4K 60. Now, that thing is a little over $200. I really don't make a lot of money here on YouTube. So if anybody wants to help out, via Super Chat, via the PayPal that's in the description below, I appreciate anybody, trying to help out to make the quality of my streams, because I am going to be streaming more, especially Ori 2 in March. We got Doom Eternal, Bleeding Edge. Going into, the next generation of consoles, I'm going to be streaming more on here, showing people the fun that you can have with these games. I mean, that's pretty much what it's about. Oh, thank you, Fox. Oh, my bad. Sometimes my Twitter scrolls so fast. I miss, when people tag me and stuff like that. I definitely appreciate it, bro. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. You want to help me out in getting the Elgato 4K 60 to make my stream quality that much better. There is a link to the PayPal in the description below, or anytime I go live, you can just hit up that super chat. YouTube does take a chunk of that, though, just to let you know. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you are having a great Monday. There is more content on the way this coming week. Definitely stay tuned to this channel. We have a lot of things to talk about in terms of gaming. I am so excited for March and the games that are dropping in March. I cannot wait to get my hands on them and start playing. I hope you guys feel the same way. But I'm going to end the stream the way I do. As for now, this is the Xbot 448. And I am definitely signing off.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems.